right? And David Webb, you are the CEO of BrightMove, which is just up the road for me in St. Augustine, which is probably one of the most fun places to visit. See, I love to go there. My kids get a little bored, but man, I love walking up and down all the cool shops and stuff that they have there. You have beautiful beaches. You've got history, lots of history there. What a beautiful town. Oldest town in America. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, we love it. It's a great place to visit. If you haven't ever been, if you like American history or even pre-America history, there's lots for everybody here. It's a great little place to be.
So you started BrightMove there in St. Augustine, and BrightMove, you guys are in the recruiting space, and you've created a recruiting platform. And can you kind of explain what it does generally?
Yeah, BrightMove falls into a category of software called an applicant tracking system. And for those of you guys that don't have 5 hours for the real detailed explanation on that, we really specialize on when someone needs to find someone for a job. We publish that job to the world via the internet, and we manage the influx of hundreds or thousands of candidates that come into that job to apply for it, and then help the person doing the hiring filtering down to the top candidates so that they can most effectively and efficiently hire the best person and retain the best person for that job. And there's a lot of technology behind the scenes that makes that happen, but that's what we're really good at, and that's what we kind of love to do. So that's what BrightMove is about.
So when BrightMove was started, I mean, you were already a developer, right? So it's so you're also the founder of ProWave Consulting. And tell me the kind of the quick origin story of BrightMove. I mean, this was basically just a solution to a problem. You guys were already just doing development, and BrightMove kind of became a thing.
Yeah, it was just kind of left standing at the end of the whole 2007, 2008, economic crisis that we all went through. But yeah, just the quick story is that I'm a software developer by trade. I went to the University of North Florida in Jacksonville and have a degree in computer information systems. And I went from a consultant doing programming for Fortune 100 companies to starting my own staffing company. And BrightMove came out as a way to kind of solve problems that we saw in the ATS space back in the early 2000s when we were running our own staffing company.
Wow. So, and just so folks understand, I mean, BrightMove, you guys have some pretty decent market penetration.
We do. It's taken a long time, and we've grown it organically, but the good news is there's still just two of us that own the company, and we make all the decisions and we decide the cool features that go into it. But it wasn't always easy. We were persistent. We did what we said we were going to do. We gained trust, and we built trust with our customers, and then we asked for references, and that was really kind of the recipe to success for us growing as a small company with no funding into the company that we are today.
Yeah. So how did you get your first handful of clients then?
So my business partner, Jimmy, his wife, had worked for the Shands Hospital System up in Jacksonville, and they were still using folders and filing cabinets for their hiring efforts.
Oh gosh.
So, yeah, they were really happy to see us when we pulled up, with version 1 of BrightMove, and you probably wouldn't even give it to your worst enemy today if you'd have seen what it looked like, but they were happy to see it. And we naively thought that we had the next best big thing and it was just going to take off, and it didn't take off, but it gave us some market validation and some name recognition that we were able to slowly build off of over time.
So you worked and worked, you finally landed a good client. And then once you had them, what was your next step?
We hired one salesperson to try to help us, find more clients. We focused on organic search engine optimization back in the day before SEO had even been coined as a term. And we just did demos of our software. There's nobody we wouldn't talk to. There was no deal too small that we would entertain. And as, other companies in our space just kind of discarded, maybe startups kind of like ourselves, we picked them up and embraced them and helped them. Some of our customers from the early days that started off with 1 or 2 recruiters now have large, probably 8-figure a year in revenue firms with 22, 25 recruiters, and they've been using BrightMove since day one. So I think
amazing.
That kind of gives us some satisfaction at the end of the day that we're doing the right thing.
You know, we went to the Inc. 5000 conference in 2017. I was pretty shocked and surprised, like how many recruiting agencies are out there. It's apparently it can be, if you do it right, apparently it can be a good line of work.
Yeah, you know, there's, you know, humans are they are at the center of the economy, right? There's jobs to do, and you know, people ask me, you know, well, you know, things are going to get automated, people aren't going to need to be hired anymore, and that's just not true. Automation frees up, you know, budget and positions for other skill sets, but it doesn't, you know, negate the need for human capital. Human capital is here to stay for as long as you and I are going to be around. Yeah.
Was, in terms of client acquisition, when you hired your first salesperson, was it pretty much just cold calling?
Yeah, you know, it's funny looking back now because I don't think we paid him enough. And he's a friend to this day, even though he's not with the company anymore. But his passion was umpiring high school baseball, and he didn't care what we paid him as long as we let him leave 2 days a week to go do baseball games. Yeah. And but yeah, Scott would just dial the old fashioned way, just over and over again, wearing the paint off the phone numbers.
Yeah. How easy is it to sell to recruiters?
It's probably the hardest thing ever. No, it's like everybody you're talking to is a negotiator, and you know, all they do all day long is sell. And if you think about recruiting in itself is such a hard job because you have 2 sales to make every time. You have to sell the candidate to take the job, and then you have to go sell the hiring manager to hire your candidate.
That's right.
So there's like twice as many variables. There's twice as many ways it can go wrong. So it's a tough crowd, but we love them and we understand them. And when they really take the time to talk to some of our biz dev guys that we have today, who all have staffing backgrounds, they realize that we're an ATS company that understands what their day-to-day job looks like, and that we're there to help them be more productive. And at the end of the day, if we don't make their job easier, what tool do you need to buy that doesn't make your job easier by using it? And that's kind of a philosophy there.
And I mean, that's the general idea. So what makes BrightMove better than, say, what might be perceived as a competitor?
For the most part, our market is pretty commoditized, right? And and we're okay with that, and we acknowledge it. And so we differentiate ourselves in the ways that we can. Number one is customer service. We just won our 3rd Stevie Award. We got another international silver for customer support. Wow. And we're in the company of Intuit and other companies like that are just, you know, way bigger than ours. So we don't have bots. We don't have outsourced customer service. When you call, you talk to someone in St. Augustine or Denver. And then our software is fast. Our average response time for a request is about 25 milliseconds. And it takes 250 milliseconds about to blink. So to say that you're not going to spend time waiting on your resume search results to come back is an understatement, because we love technology and we love solving problems, and we also like winning and being fast. And that's kind of, that's in our DNA when we write the
That's
software.
Great. That's great. So David Webb, you're the CEO of BrightMove. You're on the web at brightmove.com, serving the recruiting space with, and what does ATS stand for?
Applicant Tracking System.
Terrific. Yep. Again, over at brightmove.com. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.